Cloelia was one of the most celebrated heroines of early Roman history, remembered for her extraordinary courage, loyalty, and sense of honor. According to Roman tradition, she lived during the late 6th century BC when Rome was threatened by the Etruscan king Lars Porsena after the overthrow of the last Roman king, Tarquinius Superbus. As part of a peace agreement between Rome and Porsena, several young Roman men and women were given as hostages to guarantee that the treaty would be respected. Among these hostages was Cloelia, whose actions would make her one of the greatest female figures in Roman legend. While being held in the Etruscan camp, Cloelia refused to accept captivity. Seizing an opportunity, she gathered a group of fellow hostages and escaped by swimming across the dangerous Tiber River under enemy observation. Ancient writers admired her remarkable bravery, describing how she led the frightened captives through the strong current despite the risk of arrows and pursuit. Her daring escape demonstrated not only physical courage, but also exceptional leadership, making her a symbol of Roman determination and resilience. Although the Romans welcomed Cloelia as a heroine, the peace treaty with Lars Porsena required that all escaped hostages be returned. Roman leaders believed that breaking their promise would damage Rome's reputation for honesty and honor. Understanding that the city's integrity was more important than her personal freedom, Cloelia voluntarily returned to the Etruscan camp. This decision became one of the most admired moments in Roman history because it showed that true courage included keeping one's word, even when doing so meant returning to captivity. Lars Porsena was deeply impressed by Cloelia's character. Instead of punishing her for escaping, he praised her bravery and respected her willingness to honor the treaty. According to tradition, he rewarded her by allowing her to choose several Roman hostages to be released. Cloelia selected the youngest captives, believing they were the most vulnerable and deserved freedom the most. Her compassionate decision reflected wisdom, selflessness, and concern for others rather than personal gain. The Roman people celebrated Cloelia as one of the greatest examples of female virtue. She became famous not simply because she escaped from captivity, but because she placed duty above personal safety. Roman writers often compared her courage to that of legendary male heroes, emphasizing that bravery, loyalty, and honor were qualities that belonged to all citizens regardless of gender. Her story inspired generations of Romans to value sacrifice, integrity, and devotion to the common good. Cloelia's legend also reveals the ideals that shaped Roman culture. The story teaches that courage alone is not enough unless it is guided by honor and responsibility. By voluntarily returning to Lars Porsena after her successful escape, she proved that keeping a promise could be even more heroic than winning freedom. Her actions strengthened the peace agreement between Rome and the Etruscans, demonstrating that personal sacrifice could preserve stability for an entire nation. Although modern historians cannot verify every detail of Cloelia's story, her legend remained one of the most influential examples of Roman moral values. Ancient authors such as Livy celebrated her as a model of bravery, discipline, and loyalty, while Roman artists and later European painters frequently depicted her dramatic swim across the Tiber River. She even received the rare honor of a public equestrian statue in Rome, an extraordinary recognition for a woman in the ancient world. Today, Cloelia continues to be remembered as a timeless symbol of courage, honor, and selfless leadership, proving that true heroism is measured not only by bold actions, but also by the willingness to place justice and duty above personal freedom.